Heth versus Reynolds, Chapter 4, Counterattack. Let's start by looking at the map to get some things straight. First, McPherson Ridge, which forks into two branches where it crosses Chambersburg Pike, which runs out of Gettysburg to the northwest. Then the railroad cut. Notice there are two separate spots where it becomes a trench where it crosses high spots. A bunch of Davis's rebel infantry jumped in there, looking for shelter, and found themselves trapped. Once again, the gray rectangles are Confederate infantry regiments, the blue ones are Union infantry regiments, the light blue are Union cavalry regiments. The spiky icons are artillery batteries. It was a busy morning. Our God's eye view at around 11 a.m. shows us a lot of things going on at once. First, Davis's Confederate brigade was chasing Cutler's Demi brigade up the hill and into the woods. Second, Meredith's Union brigade was just about to chase Archer's brigade back across Willoughby Run. Third, Union Corps Commander Reynolds was dead, and Confederate Brigade Commander Archer was about to be captured. So let's look at this animation. I'll put the map into a loop, running 10:45 to 11 a.m. Notice Davis's brigade chasing those regiments to the east. This could be a real problem for the Union because Davis's brigade is now across McPherson Ridge, on the Union left flank, and close to being in their rear. See the two Union regiments here on the south side of the highway. This is Fowler's Demi brigade, formerly part of Cutler's brigade, the rest of Cutler's brigade being these three regiments up here retreating. Reynolds placed those two regiments there to guard the left side of the artillery battery, which you can see now is also retreating. Colonel Edward Fowler was commanding those two regiments. He saw that all the Union units to the north of him were falling back and realized that the whole Federal line on McPherson Ridge could collapse if the Confederate troops turned south. So Colonel Fowler ordered his two regiments to pivot so that they were facing north. Also see this single regiment down here. This is the 6th Wisconsin, part of Meredith's brigade. The 6th Wisconsin was the reserve force for the division which contained Cutler's and Meredith's brigades. General Doubleday had taken over for General Reynolds. Remember, Reynolds was killed. And Doubleday also saw the threat from the Confederate troops to the north. So Doubleday orders them, the 6th Wisconsin, to advance, and they double-quick to the north. So I'll let the animation run forward now. Colonel Fowler and General Doubleday both had the same idea: beef up the Union right flank. Davis's brigade north of the Pike were alerted to the new threat on the right. They turned and fired to the south. On the Federal side, the 6th Wisconsin and their commander, Lieutenant Colonel Rufus Dawes, reached the south side of Chambersburg Pike, and right behind them, Colonel Fowler's Demi brigade. At the same time, Davis's brigade, those Confederate troops on the north, was trying to refocus and take advantage of the sudden opportunity. They needed to change direction 90 degrees to the right. Bradley Gottfried, in his book, Brigades of Gettysburg, described the pickle Davis's troops found themselves in. Quote, "This was an extremely critical time for Davis's brigade. Its commander had lost control of his regiments as they swept after the fleeing Union soldiers. Two of the three regiments had lost their commanders, and Davis had not thought to halt his troops to reform their ranks. Now 3 fresh Federal regiments were bearing down on them." Unquote. On the south side of Chambersburg Pike, Colonel Fowler and Lieutenant Colonel Dawes agreed they couldn't stay where they were. They'd already suffered heavy casualties moving up to the south side of the road. The only choice now was to charge. The Union regiments charged forward across the pike and across the fence on the far side. As they continued forward, the Confederate troops disappeared. Following orders, the Confederates had jumped into the railroad cut. Once in the cut, they found it in general, except on either end, too deep to fire out of. In a moment, the Union troops were on top of them, hallooing at them to surrender. They were trapped. At the moment, many of the Confederates found themselves trapped in the railroad cut. Part of the 6th Wisconsin flanked it on the east end. After a short struggle with Union troops, some of the Confederates were forced to surrender. Most escaped to the north and to the west. According to Bradley Gottfried in his book, Colonel Dawes of the 6th Wisconsin claimed that they captured 7 officers and 227 men. So that's the end of my story. It was now about noon, and things settled down while more troops came onto the battlefield. Soon the Confederate Ewell's Corps would be arriving from the north and west. On the Union side, Buford, Cutler's, and Meredith's brigades all played valuable roles later in the first day. Then on the third day, both of the Confederate brigades, Archer's and Davis's, participated in Pickett's charge. Thank you.